Okay everyone, so for my chicken quesadillas, I'm going to be using 3 of the chicken tenderloins that I purchased from the grocery store the other day. I had did that video on my weekly budget, and I bought a pack of chicken tenderloins for $5.50, and I ended up splitting that up into 3 packs, and there were 11 pieces in there, so 2 packs got 4 pieces. This one got 3 pieces. So I'm going to use this, and breaking it down to cost, $5.50 divided by the 11 pieces is 50 cents a tenderloin. So this supper of chicken quesadillas is going to cost minimal. So the chicken itself for 3 pieces, $1.50. So they are frozen right now. So a quick way, I'm going to thaw them out because I do not like to defrost chicken in the microwave. I don't like defrosting any meat in the microwave. So what I do is I'll put it in a bowl, and I'll just put cold water in it and let it soak in there. I have it in a Ziploc bag so it won't get in the water. The water won't get in the chicken. So, okay, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright folks, so my chicken is all thawed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some olive oil in the frying pan. And all I'm going to do that for is to brown my chicken. Alright, looks like that's the last of the olive oil. Alright, so as soon as that olive oil heats up, I'll put my chicken in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw my chicken in there. Just spread out the olive oil a little bit. Alright, then all I'm going to do is season it up a little bit. Season, salt, onion powder, pepper. That's my basic go-to seasonings for everything. Pretty basic seasoning. Alright, so I'm just going to cook it up until it browns. Not exactly brown, but you get the meaning. Alright, so I'll leave it on this side for a bit. Okay, so for the most part they're brown. The sides are not brown so much, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my burner down. I had it on a medium heat, and now I'm going to, it was at 5, which is medium, and now I'm going to turn it between 2 and 3. And I'm going to add some water, cover the bottom. And then I'm going to add in 2 of the chicken bouillon cubes. And then I'm going to let this simmer for about an hour or so. You could make it faster than an hour if you put on a higher heat. But I'm going to cook it a little slower at first, and I'll check it in a half hour. So I'm going to cover it up right now. Okay, so that's going to cook. I'll check it in a half hour, see how it's doing. I think I might just put it on number 3. And then once it's ready, I'll shred it up. Actually, in a half hour, I'm going to put a can of, and I've used this before, El Pato sauce. And this is salsa with jalapeno. A little bit spicy. So when the chicken's ready, or in a half hour I'll put that in, and then when the chicken's ready and it's done, I'll shred it all up, and that's what I'll add into our chicken quesadillas. Okay folks, so my chicken has been going for a little while now, probably about a half hour. I did set the timer, so we're about 4 minutes away from the half hour mark. So it is not done yet, obviously, because it still pulls a little hard. When you try to pull it apart and it's still a little hard to pull apart, that means it's not done. So as you can see, the water I added, it's obviously not a whole lot of water, just enough to cover the bottom, because now I'm going to add in my can of El Pato sauce, which is a Mexican tomato sauce with spice. So again, this is a salsa with jalapeno. So I'm just going to add that in, and that'll give it a little bit more juice. Okay, so I'm going to let this cook for, I'm going to set it for another half hour, and we'll check on it then. Okay folks, so my chicken is done. I went ahead and shredded it all up and tasted it, and I'll tell you, as soon as you take that lid off, you could smell the spice, and when you take a little bite you can taste the spice. So alright, so I'm going to get ready to actually make the quesadillas now, so stay tuned. Okay everyone, I'm ready to make my quesadillas. So basically I have this warmed up. It's not too hot, but it's warm enough where I'm going to put my tortillas on there. And these quesadillas, I'm actually going to fold them over instead of putting a layer and then a layer on top. Okay, so I got my tortilla down. Then, and I'm sure you all know how to make quesadillas, but just going to put some cheese down there. Now these first two are for my husband Glenn, and he doesn't like a whole lot of cheese. Okay, then I'm going to throw some chicken on there. And a little bit of picante sauce. Then I'm going to fold that over. And I'm going to turn that down a little bit, and I'm going to make another one. Pretty simple quesadillas. There's no rocket science. And the chicken is basically how you like your chicken. If you don't like it spicy, which I usually don't, and it's not too bad in there, I'll just use some sour cream to dip it in. But if you don't like spice, you don't have to use, of course, the El Pato sauce. Alright, I'm just going to fold that one over. You can see the cheese melting here. Actually, I think I'm going to put them this way. I mean, I want it to be hot enough where they're going to cook, but I don't want it to burn. And these are delicious. So yeah, you can put sour cream on the side, and just as you take pieces, just dip it in your sour cream. On my husband Glenn's plate, I'm going to put a little bit picante sauce and a dab of sour cream. So, and then I'll just take sour cream because I don't use picante. You can see it's just a little brown there. And this also will give the tortilla a little crispiness. Okay, so these got a nice crisp to them. You can see along the edge there, that's melted cheese that gets hard around the edges, so it's turning out good. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on the cutting board and cut them in half. Okay, so I'm going to cut these in half. It just makes it a little easier to eat. Actually, I should have grabbed the tongs. Alright, so I'm going to try to cut them both in half at the same time. Almost worked. Good enough. Alright, so there you have it, 4 pieces of quesadilla. And I'm going to go ahead and plate these. That just makes it a little easier to eat. It's hot. Alright folks, there you have it. Chicken quesadillas on a budget. The 3 tenderloins of chicken was $1.50 total, plus a little bit of cheese and a couple of tortillas. And there you have a budget-friendly chicken quesadilla meal. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and spending this time with me. Have a good night, and until next time.